Hi, and welcome to the Softcast Collective. My name is Sasha, and if there's one thing that I have learned, it's that life rarely goes according to plan. So first of all, I just want to thank everyone for being here, whether you stumbled this by accident, or somebody sent it to you, or for all of those who have been finally waiting for me to hit record. I am really happy here. Now, I will be honest with you, starting this podcast is terrifying. Not because I don't have stories to tell or anything, it's just putting yourself out there on the internet can be a little scary. And I have been thinking about starting this for months, maybe even longer, and I kept telling myself, oh, I'll do this when I'm more prepared, I'll wait until I have the perfect setup. And then I finally realized something. If I keep waiting for the perfect time, I probably won't start. So here we are, doing this. So the first episode isn't going to be some huge dramatic story. There'll be plenty of those later on down the road, trust me. Today is just about saying hi. Who am I? Wanted to tell you a little bit about who I am, why I decided to start this podcast, and kind of like what you can expect if you decide to stick around. I am somebody who's always loved stories, whether it's getting completely lost in a book, staying up way too late trying to finish a video game, or watching movies or TV shows that leave me thinking for days. I've always loved sitting down and listening to all my friends tell me anything about their life or what they're going through, whether we're, drinking coffee or it's very late at night just sitting around a table. I've always loved stories, and I think that stories are the best ways that we can connect with each other. And I thought that, maybe I have a few stories worth telling too. Some of my stories are going to be funny, some could be a bit awkward and emotional, and some probably won't make a whole lot of sense, but honestly, isn't that what life's all about? A collection of moments that always seem important while we're living them, but, somehow become the stories we tell later on in life. And I think that's where the name Soft Collective came from. Life is chaotic and hectic, and it's exciting. Some of it's, heartbreaking. Some of it can be really weird, but not all chaos, has to be loud. It can be quiet, whether it's, learning how to move on from one chapter of your life to another, whether it's trying to figure out who you are, or sometimes it's laughing so hard you have to, cry over something that seemed like the end of the world at the time. I've done that a lot. But this podcast is for all that, It's not pretending that we have life figured out. It's about sharing stories, talking about books that stay with me after I finish them, or video games that made me feel something that I wasn't expecting, or the ridiculous things my cats do, because there are plenty of those. It's about the people that I've met and the lessons that I'm still learning, and the little moments that, turn into our best stories. Now, I am not 100% sure what all of these episodes are going to be about, but I'm really excited and a little nervous to share them with you. One of the big things that I do want to talk about is being adopted. But that's for a later episode. I also want to talk about relationships and family, growing up and getting older, and things that you realize that you did as a kid compared to what you're doing now as an adult. The wild roommate situation I somehow got into, and a bunch of other things that I probably haven't even thought of yet, but I will get into it. And I don't want you to think that this podcast is going to fit into one story or like one little moment, and I don't want it to fit into, one separate category, but maybe a bunch. I want it to feel like you're sitting down with a friend and you're catching up with them, laughing and crying together, or just listening, you know? If that's, you know, something that you're looking for, I really hope you stick around. And this is just the beginning, and I'm genuinely excited to see where this little community goes. But thank you for taking a chance on me. So until next time, take it one day at a time and find the story in the chaos, and I'll talk to you soon.